How can 6 days turn a naturally kind and decent person into a dark and brutal demon? As early as 1971, psychology professor Philip Zimbardo, in order to study whether specific environments affect individuals, launched a recruitment for an experiment called the mock prison, and offered a generous payment of $15 a day, recruiting 24 psychologically healthy male college student volunteers. Among them 9 played the role of guards, and another 9 were assigned to play prisoners. The remaining 6 served as alternates, preparing for a 2-week prison life. At the same time, all volunteers were informed that the experiment would suddenly begin on a certain weekend, so they needed to make sure to stay home, so they could participate at any time. And just as everyone was celebrating landing this easy job, a terrifying nightmare was about to unfold. On August 14th, fully armed police officers went to each volunteer's home, handcuffed them and took them away. This scene not only alarmed neighbors who had no idea what was happening, even the young men themselves never expected to take part in the experiment in this way. The volunteers were then taken to an experimental site already set up as a prison, where they were treated exactly like real criminals. They not only had to change into prison uniforms, but were also assigned numbers and locked into cells, and even forced to wear ankle chains. The only thing that seemed out of place was that the 9 guards and 9 prisoners were still laughing and chatting, because they all knew very well this was nothing more than a role-playing game. However, all of this was exactly as Zimbardo had anticipated. In order to simulate a real prison, the prisoners were not allowed to move freely after being locked inside, while all guards were required to wear uniforms and sunglasses, and were equipped with batons and whistles. They were also given one authority: they could use any form of punishment on prisoners except physical violence, while he observed everyone through cameras. In this way, both prisoners and guards quickly slipped into their roles. That very night, the guards blew the wake-up whistle in the middle of the night, forcing all prisoners to get up and line up, to test whether their authority had been established in the prisoners' minds. They even ordered prisoners to perform forced push-ups and other punishments. By the second day, the prisoners expressed dissatisfaction with the guards' behavior, and launched a riot. They blocked the cell doors with beds, and mocked and insulted the guards. The guards immediately felt their authority had been challenged. To reclaim their dignity, they sprayed the unruly prisoners with fire extinguishers, and forcibly removed the beds of the riot leaders. Although the prisoners shouted that this was only a simulation, it had no effect at all, and instead brought immense satisfaction to the other side. Zimbardo also discovered that unlike the first day, the prisoners were becoming more and more like real prisoners, and the guards began abusing their power against innocent people. Over the next 3 days, the experiment grew increasingly tense. The guards not only stripped prisoners naked and tied them up for public humiliation, but also used various vile methods to torment them, continuously crushing their will. By this point, everyone was deeply trapped in their roles, seemingly forgetting they were just students. Until the 6th day, when a Stanford University professor came to observe, and was horrified by the mentally unstable prisoners and vicious guards, and condemned Zimbardo for abusing the volunteers. Only then did Zimbardo come to realize that he himself had long fallen into the role of prison warden, watching everything unfold on the screen with great enthusiasm. It was only when reviewing the surveillance footage that they discovered that as early as the second night of the experiment, prisoner number 8612 had already let out screams of breakdown.
No, I gotta go. To a doctor, anything. I can't see now. I fucked up. I don't know how to explain it. I'm all fucked up inside! Out! Now!
Zimbardo therefore terminated the prison experiment originally planned for 2 weeks. After the volunteers were gathered to watch the full playback of the experiment, everyone was shocked and terrified by their own behavior over those days, because each person had shown a side completely different from their true personality. Afterward, Zimbardo concluded from this experiment that in specific environments, anyone granted power over others will display severe abusive behavior, and he called this phenomenon the Lucifer effect. Although the Stanford prison experiment has faced countless criticisms and doubts, there is one undeniable fact before us: that many evils in human history have little to do with inherent good or evil, but rather whether some people were given the opportunity to commit evil. Otherwise, under environmental influence, even angels can rapidly fall into demons, and you will never truly know, in certain cases, whether the person beside you is a gentle and refined gentleman, or a bloodthirsty monster waiting to emerge.